up, beautiful people? Guys, happy new year, okay? 2022 is here. I'm excited. And you guys, I just hope 2022 is good to you, okay? Because it is Capricorn season, okay? Your girl's birthday is about to come up. So, it's time for me to, redeem all of my birthday freebies. Now, if y'all don't know, it's good to sign up for rewards for different restaurants and stores because, when they make sure they know your birthday, they start giving you little emails for, free food, coupons, free items. So, your girl loves all of the free things. Okay, it's time for me to start making my one of my, yearly rituals, making sure, I get my facial and my massages, my hair, my nails and all that stuff is all put together, before the birthday. I mean, I do that throughout the year, but yeah, your girl, it's very important for your girl to be looking right on her B-Day, okay? It is a holiday, all right? But enough about me, and let's get into episode number 5 of Power Book 2, Season 2, Coming Home to Roost, okay? Because everybody was roosting, okay? Everybody was reading the F out of Monet, okay? And I was here for everything, okay? Every word. Because she needed to be put on her place because her attitude this entire show has been stank, okay? Real stank, landfill stank, okay? Like she is, she needs a piece of that humble pie. Actually, she needs the whole humble pie, okay? So I am happy that she's finally getting told off, okay? And then the only person who hasn't really told her off is Diana, okay? But I think she may be cursing her out maybe in the near future. So I'm going to be here for that low key, okay? Now, your girl is not an advocate of being disrespectful and cursing out your parents. But low key, Monet is like a drill sergeant / boss, okay? She's not really technically, she's technically a mother, but she hasn't been treating the children, okay, as she should have been. So, yeah, y'all. I am so excited about this. Okay, so let's get into it, okay? Because we opened up the episode with Zeke, okay? He is on his way to turn himself in, okay? And so, guys, if you haven't seen or listened to my previous episode 4 review, I explained your girl was sick. You know what I'm saying? I had the cooties. My voice was gone, okay? So my voice is probably at like a 75% at this point. So I'm trying to push on and get this review out to you before episode 6. So if I'm sounding a little raspy, you know what I'm saying? A little T-Boss, TLC-ish. Please excuse me if my voice is not as pleasing to your ears as it usually is, or if it's ever been. I hope so, okay? But yeah, just bear with your girl because my voice is not 100%. I got my tea with my lemon and my honey, okay? So I'm trying to, get myself together, what the girls do with the Whitneys and the Selena Johnsons and the Mariahs. Well, Mariah don't really sing that much anymore. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, I'm definitely trying to get my voice back in order. But guys, just bear with me during this review, okay? So back to Power, all right? So, we got Monet and Method Man, a.k.a. Davis, and Zeke. They're in the car, and they're on the way to turn Zeke in. And long story short, they get to the station, and the DA lady pretty much says, hey, we don't need Zeke anymore. There has been some new development. And, of course, I know Zeke on the inside, what I'm saying? He was doing all of the backflips, okay, all of the somersaults, because Zeke is not about that life, okay? He would have been doing somebody's laundry within the first 5 hours, okay? Even though he's a big guy, he's one of those gentle giants, and yeah, he definitely would have been somebody's girlfriend within the first 48 hours. So I'm glad your boy escaped the jail cell, okay? So, what I'm saying? Monique and Davis and everybody. I said Monique. Lord, I done created a whole new character. Monet, Zeke, and Davis, they leave the station and what have you. And Kamal and Detective doing too damn much. They're talking. And Kamal's telling him like, hey, I have been looking into Professor plagiarization's memoirs and what have you. And, I think it's based on a true story because his first book was based on Professor Sexaholic. So I'm going to be, investigating the book a little more to see what I can find out, okay? So Kamal and Detective, they visit Professor Sexaholic and ask her, hey, can read, Jabari's manuscript just to kind of see if you can gather some details, what I'm saying? Because a lot of the information included is pretty much similar to the campus at Stansfield. So, of course, she eventually agrees, all right? So y'all, Monet and Mecca, they meet up at the bar, and Mecca, low-key, he offers her trust funds for all of the kids, okay? He said he wants to be the daddy and the stepdaddy, and I'm here for it, okay? But yeah, Mecca, Lord, I don't know. Deacon, the great Deacon Project Pat said these wonderful words, okay? Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. Because Monet, she don't want to be happy, okay? She said it in her song, was that album 1 or 2? I think it was album 2. She said, I just want to be happy, yeah. No, you don't, girl. You don't want to be happy. You want to be miserable, because if you want to be happy, you will be falling in, Mecca's arms, a.k.a. Dante's arms, every chance you get. You know what I'm saying? So, girl, get it together. So Monet, she tells Mecca, like, hey, I've been going through a lot. I have been effing up, okay? And you are a distraction. And don't get me wrong. I gotta give Monet a hand clap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looks like she's been going to some therapy sessions, okay? Because she is finally holding herself accountable. And I am so happy. I am so happy, Black woman. You are finally holding yourself accountable for your actions, okay? But Mecca said, boo, I am not leaving the state of New York without you, girl. And I'm like, oh, that is romantic. I mean, I'm feeling that. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That kind of got me. The romantic person in me was like, yes, Mecca, get your girl. Get your girl, all right? So, y'all, don't get me wrong. A lot of people do not like the classroom scenes, but I love them. I just love how they tie in the lessons to the actual, plot and story of the episode. So I am all for the classroom episodes. They are very entertaining to me, okay? And so Professor Sexaholic, she writes karma, okay, on the board, and the kids are all frazzled, like, oh my God, we did not discuss that. Like, they all panicking, because like, I didn't read this. I didn't read about this. So she was like, we're going to switch it up a little bit. And she is really singling Tariq out and just asking him all these questions, grilling him. It looks very obvious that she realized the book that Jabari was writing is about Tariq. And she pretty much, tells him, you cannot escape your sins. And like, girl, what about all the sins you've been creating, okay? Being up in the beds and whatnot. I mean, that's not like murder or anything. Don't get me wrong. But girl, you are not squeaky clean, boo-boo. So I'm going to need you to calm down with that, all right? So Monet, she shows up on the campus yard, and she's sticking out like a sore thumb. Like, she is not looking like she belongs at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's real, hood fabulous with the Gucci and the black and the gold and the Chanel. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm here for the looks. I'm here for the looks. And maybe that will, go off on a different type of campus. But yeah, Stansfield, that don't really work out when it comes to these students. Okay. So I'm going to need her to kind of blend in a little better. Okay. Because they shouldn't be popping up. You don't see nobody else's parents popping up on campus like that. Like, they don't do that. I made sure I went to a school that was close enough for me to visit home, or my mom to visit me, but not to the point where she can just pop up every day. I mean, that just wasn't going to be cute, girl, okay? Your girl needed her freedom, all right? So long story short, Monet asked Tariq to take a ride with her, okay? And she pretty much asked him, like, hey, why you been lying, okay? Why you been lying about this whole thing? Kane unconfessed and told me everything. And Tariq was like, hey, my plan would have worked. But pretty much, long story short, Kane effed my plan up, all right? But Monet was like, okay, I'm going to let you live. I'm going to let you live this time. But I need you to find out who's Kane Connect is. And I'm like, girl, why you got to go through all this, okay? You should have been knew who the Connect was before you agreed to let him be the Connect. Like, what kind of organization is this, okay? When you apply for a job, when you hire somebody, or when you build a business relationship, you have to vet the people you are doing business with, okay? Most jobs out here doing drug tests, background test checks, credit checks, checking out your references. You know what I'm saying? They out here got your social security information. They over there, you know what I'm saying? asking about all your business, okay? But Monet does not know who is supplying her drugs. And I'm like, this is a problem. This is a problem, okay? So Tariq, of course, he agrees, whatever. And then, of course, in the course of this conversation, they're driving along the streets and what have you. So, what I'm saying, she eventually stops in this little abandoned situation, and she tells Tariq to get out and find his way back. And I'm like, girl, what the F? And Tariq, why are you allowing that, bruh? Why are you allowing that? I'm like, no, you're going to drop me off where you pick me up, or you're going to drop me off at the nearest bus station, the nearest train station, or a busy street where I can catch a cab or Uber, okay? No, we are not doing this in Timor, okay? Okay, because I'm pretty sure Tariq got some nice little shoes on, some little Gucci's or something expensive. Those shoes ain't made for walking like that. Like, girl, you are a horrible business partner, okay? So y'all, Professor Sexaholic and Detective doing too damn much is, they're meeting up, and Kamala's there as well. And she pretty much tells them like, hey, this book is about Tariq St. Patrick. It's 100% about him. And I'm just curious, like, exactly how she put that together, y'all. I mean, they didn't discuss the details, but I'm just curious how she figured that out, okay? But anywho, they don't talk about the details. But yeah, I'm just very curious about that. So Monet, she asks Kane to find out Tariq's weakness, okay? Because she said, it's obvious Tariq is not scared of me, and I need him to be scared, okay? So you need to find out about his weakness. So she going through all this drama, okay? And I'm just over it, okay? So Lauren, she goes to Professor Sexaholic's, office, whatever. And she was like, ma'am, I just can't wear this wire anymore, okay? I just cannot do it. And she tells Lauren, like, no, you have to do it, okay? And yeah, Professor Sexaholic pissed me off again. She done pissed me off again because she is manipulating the hell out of Lauren. And I'm low-key mad at Lauren too, but she is young. So I'm going to give Lauren a little bit of a pass, okay? Just a little bit of a pass, okay? But she pretty much tells her, like, hey, they are looking into Brayden as being the suspect of the drugs and Jabari. So I need you to get all the information, because she is doing this because she knows Lauren will protect Tariq if Lauren knew the real truth. So she is trying to go, about it in a roundabout situation. And I am pissed. And Lauren, she's hesitant, but she eventually goes along with it. And I'm like, girl, call the parents, okay? Your parents have money and influence. Like, use that, okay? God, these kids are so dumb. So dumb. So Brayden, he goes to his dorm room and he finds Kane there. And Kane just finished using the restroom and it wasn't number one. And I'm like, bruh, like, are you serious? And he gonna tell Brayden, yeah, you may want to give it 35, 45 minutes. Like, he pops on Friday and what have you. And I'm like, oh, I wish somebody would use the facilities like that in my bathroom. Let alone, how did he get in there? Y'all don't lock doors? Did he pick the lock? Like, what's going on with this campus, y'all? Like, I'm pretty sure y'all paying top dollar to go here. And y'all got some real janky situations going on. I'm just saying. But anywho, Kane, he's looking for Tariq. And of course, Brayden, he's covering for Tariq and pretty much saying, hey, I don't know where he is. And he may be with his girlfriend, okay? And so we get a knock at the door and it's Lauren, okay? And she's looking for Tariq as well, okay? It's a fine Waldo situation up in here. Where the hell is Tariq? And so, of course, Kane, he's really, peeping and feeling Lauren, because she's pretty and whatnot. And he's flirting. And yeah, of course, she ain't trying to feel him or whatever. Meanwhile, she got this watch on, okay? So yeah, the cops is going to have all this information and data to review in the future, all right? So we have another therapy session with Kane and Mecca, with Kane telling all his family tea, which is, low-key Mecca's family tea, okay? And long story short, Mecca tells Kane, hey, you need to prove yourself to Monet, okay? Make sure you win, Monet over Tariq, okay? So do what you gotta do. So y'all, Drew and Everett, they, at Everett's spot, and Everett's talking about, yeah, I'm thinking about entering the draft. I'm like, Y'all really treating the draft like it's Walmart or the movie theater or Target. Like, it's just some place that y'all can just go. Like, no, the draft is very hard. I don't have the exact statistic, but the odds of someone from, entering from college to the NBA and getting a first or a second round, pick, like, that's like, I don't, it could be 1 in a million. I'm pretty sure the odds are thinner than that. But yeah, y'all treating like the draft is like just anybody can just walk up in there. Hey, I'm in the draft. Like, pick me. Like, nah, it don't work that way, but I'm just going to go along with it. So, of course, they're talking, whatever. And so we get a knock at the door, and it's Zeke. So Zeke, what I'm saying? He's like, new hair, who this? Okay, because he done dyed his hair. He got on this, I think, pink Balenciaga hoodie, what I'm saying? Like, he feeling real happy, optimistic about life. What I'm saying? He done beat the case, what I'm saying? Feeling like, what I'm saying? Snoop Dogg murder was the case that they gave me. Like, he really feeling himself. And, he's talking like, hey, I'm happy to be back in the draft conversation. Like, I'm about to, hit up these honey dips. I mean, I took a real 90s for y'all. But yeah, that's what they call girls. I mean, they kind of called them thoughts at this time, or maybe that was 2 years ago. I'm feeling real old right now as I'm going through this through this jargon, anywho. But yeah, y'all. So of course, in the middle of the conversation, Zeke's like, hold up. How do y'all know each other? Because, when Everett realized it was Zeke at the door through the peephole, Drew, he went and acted like he was playing PlayStation or, whatever, video game or what have you. And so Drew was like, you remember, like, we met at the club that night, about that night everybody want to forget. And Zeke, he ain't that bright, but he like, oh, okay, cool. And so he ends up leaving. And Everett, he mad because he was like, dang, you switched up real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, boy, what do you want? What side of the closet do you want to be on? You want to be out of the closet or in the closet? Like, what type of closet you got going on, okay? Because you don't want everybody knowing about you and Drew, but you're mad because Drew, is good at acting. So, like, what do you want? I mean, come on, Everett. But I'm not going to worry about and stress about Everett because he's going to die soon anyway, okay? So, y'all, Tariq goes to Diana, okay? And he's asking her to ask Kane for some product because he has to get his money up, okay? Because he needs to get custody of Yas. He needs to get an apartment. He has to get his life together. And I'm like, Tariq, you trying to, like, sell a brick in, like, a day or so? Like, I mean, he probably asked for more than a brick, but I'm like, you think you got a quick turnaround, boy. I don't know what kind of advertising you got going on, but hey, I ain't mad at you, bro. So Diana, she was like, yo, bro, I don't really trust Kane either. So I need you to find out everything about Kane as you possibly can, okay? And report back to me. I'm like, Lord, we got so much reporting and investigating going on. I'm just saying. So Diana, in turns, goes to Kane and tells Kane, why Tariq needs the money. Because, of course, Kane's trying to find out intel for Monet. And so she tells him, and he's not feeling, he's like, this ain't good enough. Like, it's not, it's not a good reason for me to be fronting Tariq. And she low-key just pretty much threatened him like, hey, I know about the sugar situation, okay? I know you about, it reminds me of one of my favorite movies, Harlem Nights, when they switched to heroin for sugar. But if y'all haven't seen Harlem Nights, y'all need to check it out. It's a classic, okay? But, he agrees to, front the drugs for Tariq, whatever. So, y'all, we see Lauren at the police station, okay? And they are reviewing the audio from the dorm room with Kane. And of course, he introduces himself as Lorenzo. And I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I had a slow moment. I'm like, why is he giving her his father's name? Like, this is stupid. But I forgot he is a junior. So, of course, they're reviewing this information. And yeah, they, pull up his rap sheet and they are pretty much trying to glue everything together in terms of how Kane is connected into this whole ordeal, okay? So Kamal has the nerve to tell Lauren, I need you to be a little more aggressive, okay? And I would have been like, sure, okay? And let me go ahead and call my mama, or let me go ahead and quit school and accept your job offer because this is too much. This is too much. Am I part of the team or what? Like, what's going on here? Like, you need to call my mama or draft a job offer ASAP pronto because this is too much. I don't need to be doing all this stressing and whatnot. But of course, Lauren, she's a little hesitant, but she agrees. And they also mentioned, like, hey, we're going to upgrade your device. We're going to upgrade your wire because this is very important, okay? And so, during this whole situation, Kamal is telling Detective Doing Too Damn Much, like, we need to be looking at Tariq in terms of this whole thing. But Detective Doing Too Damn Much is like, hey, we need to look into Kane because Kane could have been the one who killed Jabari for Zeke. So, of course, they're not seeing eye to eye. Oh, Lord, this is so dysfunctional. So, y'all, Monet, she visits Lorenzo, and, they're like in a little, the visiting room or what have you. And they're discussing how Zeke got off and everything's all good. And so Lorenzo gets a call on his burner phone and it's Sax. And so, he kind of stops the conversation and tells Monet, hey, I got to take this. And I was like, excuse me? And Monet was like, for real? Like, dead ass? Like, for real? And he was like, yes. And you know what, Monet? That would have been my last visit to that Negro, okay? That would have been my last visit to that jail. Because how dare you gonna tell me you need to take an important call? How important, boo? You in jail. Like, who could it have been? Like, in my eyes as a woman, I would have thought it was another woman. And I would have snatched that phone like, yo, who this? Got real gangster up in there, okay? We both would have been up in jail. Well, not really. I can't do jail. But you know what I'm saying? Like, excuse me. I done came up in here, drove however many miles, okay? Went through how many searches and what have you. And you want to treat me like this? Nah, bruh. Like, that ain't gonna work. But she ends up leaving, okay? And Sax is like, hey, I've been hired to pretty much help you, get out of jail or, look into your case. And Lorenzo was like, hey, I can tell you anything you need. So I wish, of course, we would have got more of the information in that conversation. But I'm sure we will get more details later, okay? So, y'all, we are at the bar, and the DA lady and Detective Doing Too Damn Much, they're discussing the case. And Sax shows up, I guess, so they could have another sex session. And there was a little, exchange of eyes with the detective Doing Too Damn Much and Sax. And I was like, oh, are we going to get like some white on white crime going on, guys? Like, little Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise moment. Like, I want to see it. Like, it's going to be cute, y'all. I want to see that. All right. So we see Braden and Kane, they meet up for a little drug transaction or whatever. And Kane was like, hey, I told, Diana that Tariq needs to be here for this, okay? But of course, Braden was like, he got a lot going on. He can't be here, so I'm here, okay? And meanwhile, Tariq, he's peeping the whole scene from afar. And so I'm like, ooh, Tariq, how'd you get here, boo-boo? This is like in the middle of nowhere. So, y'all, we see, they end the transaction and Kane and Braden drive off. And Tariq proceeds to follow Kane. And guess what, y'all? Drum roll. In a car, y'all. In a car, Tariq was driving, y'all. Oh, my God. It felt so good in my heart. To see this, y'all. Oh, my God, I shed a little thug tear when I saw Tariq driving, okay? It was a cute little BMW situation, okay? But long story short, he ends up following Kane to Mecca's house, okay? So he, parks and from a little bit of afar and see, Kane, he, buzz somebody in this nice little building. And there's a little first camera. He says, hey, I got a little delivery from Mecca. Tariq, meanwhile, he's playing investigator. So he's taking pics, he's taking videos. And so once Kane goes upstairs, Tariq's old dumbass proceeds to go and follow him. And I'm like, fool, how far did you think you was going to get in terms of this situation? Like, Like, it just didn't make sense, y'all. But before he was able to get far, Nuff went ahead and, tag that ass, okay? Nuff beat the dog crap out of Tariq. And I am tired of seeing Tariq get his ass kicked all up and through the city. Like, how many ass beat your mama? Your grandmama slapping you. Nuff beat your ass. Kane punched you. I'm 2-Bit used to rough him up, and I miss 2-Bit. I hope we see him again. Y'all, I'm tired. Okay. So meanwhile, while he's getting, beat up by Nuff, the chef and Kane are looking, in the surveillance cameras, and they're asking Kane, like, hey, do you know who that is? And Kane was like, nah, I don't know him, but, we're dealing with, possible Navy SEALs or whoever the fuck. So we know that Kane is lying, but they end up letting Tariq go, what have you. So Tariq shows up at Monet's house, all beat up and whatnot, like how Martin fought Tommy Hitman Hurt. I actually saw the episode like a few days ago. It was hilarious, y'all. So Martin is just one of those timeless shows, like, you can watch like decade after decade. I mean, it's been proven. Like, Martin was like in the mid 90s and we're still watching it today, okay? So Diana, she cares for him like, the good old so-called side chick that she is. And while that's happening, Drew and Everett pulls up at the same time, and Tariq is peeping the scene like, oh, okay. Because I think he sensed in season 1 that Everett and Drew, were gay. So, yeah, Tariq is piecing everything together nicely. So, y'all, we at Mecca's little penthouse situation. So they're, kind of going over the questions with Kane again because Mecca wasn't there the first time. And so, y'all, the assassin chef that I knew since the first scene. I was like, yeah, he's going to be chopping Negroes up. And he did. You know what I'm saying? So he ends up slicing Nuff in the neck because Mecca was like, hey, you are putting the team at risk. I mean, if Kane didn't know who this guy was, this could have been a possible civilian complaint, and that would have caused heat to the situation. So you are a liability, sir. So he had to go bye-bye. And they had him laid out next to the sushi and whatnot. And I'm like, no, not next to the sushi. Like, that's not good. Oh, God. But mind you, and also Nuff actually had Tariq's phone because, I guess Tariq was all disheveled and whatnot when he got his ass kicked. So Kane took Tariq's phone, and yeah, so Tariq don't have a phone right now, y'all. How is he navigating through life? I don't know, because I would die without my phone probably. Yeah, it's a lot. So we see Red and Meth. I'm sorry, y'all. It's hard for me to not see Red and Meth. Okay, so Detective McClane and his brother, they're, meeting up at the jail visiting room. Microphone checker. Sorry, that Rockwaller song. Oh, my God. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Rockwaller. I don't know why that song comes to my head, y'all. I just love them. Like, Method Man, I just love him. Like, I just want to give him his flowers, y'all. Like, Method Man is just so timeless. He's aging backwards. I've always loved Method Man. I mean, he's just a great actor. Like, I was introduced with him acting. Of course, he did, like, How High and stuff with Redman. But he was really good. I enjoyed him in The Wire. And I've seen him a couple things here and there, but his just aura on the scene, like, I love it. And I love his chemistry with everyone on on the show. And they also mentioned, like, Courtney Kemp and a couple other people mentioned, like Method Man, like, his energy is very infectious. You know what I'm saying? When they doing, like, the table reads and when he shows up on set, he's just very positive, just lighthearted dude. And I just love me some Method Man, y'all. Like, yeah, he's like my play uncle in my head. But long story short, they're talking about how Method Man wants to get use Sax to get his brother out of jail. But pretty much the gist of this conversation let us know that the reason why Redman is in jail, aka Davis's brother, is because obviously it looks like he did the time, but Method Man did the crime. And it seems like Method Man is very confident, or I have to say Davis is very confident that he is going to be able to maneuver the evidence or what have you to not expose himself as the guilty party and still get his brother out of jail. So I don't really feel like this is going to be very successful, but I'm going to enjoy the ride of this storyline, okay? So y'all, Tariq pulls up at this nice little brownstone, and his face is all jacked up, okay? And Lauren and this leasing lady is kind of coming out of the building because Tariq was late for their appointment. And, she sees his face. The leasing lady, or, the real estate agent, I should say, she sees Tariq's face and just very turned off. I mean, it probably didn't look good that he's young, one, black, two black. Y'all, is late, excuse me. And, that he's late. So she was probably already skeptical from the get-go. But she pretty much said, hey, this apartment is no longer available. I'm like, girl, you lying, but okay. I kind of understand your situation. So, he does not seem like he would be a good fit for this situation at this apartment or what have you. So Lauren, she's pissed. She was like, where have you been? Okay, you have been in my car. Okay, so we find out it's Lauren's car that Tariq's been driving in. And he shows up late. And I'm like, hold up. This seems like some real, like, Jody baby boy-ish, okay? Because, Lauren, how did you get to this appointment, girl? Did you take an Uber? Did you take a cab? And this fool around here riding in your car, y'all couldn't go together? I'm going to be quiet, y'all. It couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. But Lauren, in the midst of her going off, she realizes his face is all messed up. And, she, of course, is, feeling sympathetic. And she ends up taking him to this apartment. It's actually her brother's apartment. And she offers it for Tariq, because her brother is in a halfway house. And, so she was like, hey, you can use my brother's apartment temporarily because my brother is still in this halfway house and we're not sure when he's going to get out. And I thought it was very sweet. She had everything in order. She had the leasing paperwork ready for him. Like, yeah, Lauren's the ride or die. I mean, she is the ride or die for right now. So yeah, y'all, it's Lauren, girl. Lord, yeah, y'all. I just pray for Lauren, okay? Pray for Lauren, because Tariq is going to get her into some bull-ish, okay? But meanwhile, while they're in the brother's apartment, she has this wire on, y'all, and they're discussing the book, Jabari's book that he was writing, and she was, kind of leading towards, like, I think this book is about Brayden. And so Tariq was reassuring her, like, no, the book is definitely not Brayden. And the cops are looking in, they were listening to this conversation, and they pretty much, have cause to now search Tariq's dorm room because he seems very certain that it's not Brayden. And it kind of looks like, hey, no, it's me. So they end up, having probable cause to search the dorm room, okay? So Kane, he goes back home, and he gives Monet Tariq's phone. Meanwhile, she's calling Tariq's phone while he gives it to her. And it shows a little, a notification like, hey, he has an appointment at 3:00 for a custody hearing. And I love this scene, y'all. Oh my God. Like, if I could have watched it 20 million times, I would. If I had the time in my life to watch this scene, I will watch it over and over again, because Kane, he pretty much tells Monet, like, yo, bro, I realize you've been putting Tariq up to follow me. Because, if we would have got caught, and we could have possibly got killed for the stunt, that you had Tariq pulling. Like, you put our lives in danger. And, she was like, I had to do it, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yo, am I your soldier or your son? Okay? Because it's always about family and business. And she was like, you both. And he was like, what kind of mother are you? What kind of mother are you? And I'm like, oh my God, I love this scene, y'all. Like, ooh, I loved it. But long story short, Monet ended up feeling like shit, and Kane looks like he's getting the light bulbs going on in the brain, and I'm excited for it, okay? Because Kane, he has been dumb for far too long for me, okay? He ain't Zeke dumb, but he's close, okay? So Monet, she shows up at the courthouse, okay, because she still got Tariq's phone. And of course, she knows he had a custody hearing that next day at 3 p.m. So he running late. It's like 2:55, what have you. And, she tells him to get in her car. And she pretty much hold him hostage. Like, hey, you could have got all of us in trouble with this whole Jabari situation, and you kind of keeping secrets because this guy Zeke all caught up. And she's thinking like, hey, you try to set Zeke up. He was like, no, I didn't know about Zeke and the professor. Like, I wasn't trying to get anybody in trouble. Kane messed everything up. So she was like, why should I believe you? Okay. Cause she got this gun on his lap. Like she about to do something in front of the courthouse. I'm like, girl, that would be the last place you need to be killing somebody at some goddamn courthouse. But she was like, hey, I'm holding you hostage, okay? Because you put my family in danger, and I'm going to put your family in danger by you not being able to make it to your court hearing on time. And Tariq's like, yo, bro, you need me, okay? And he lists all the kids' bullshit to Monet. He was like, hey, Kane switched your product with sugar. Drew is still messing with Everett, who thereby told the police about Drew and, the little gang or whatever. And then your girl, Diana, your baby girl, she done stole the Millie from the safe. And so Monet is just like, oh, like she's all flustered or whatnot. I was like, yeah, Tariq, yeah, tell her all of the business, okay? I'm just, those scenes, they just hit me back to back. I was here for all of it, okay? So she ends up letting him go, which we knew she was. And he barely made it to the custody hearing. And he actually convinces the judge that he's a good fit. And so he wins temporary custody, okay? So, y'all, we see the cops searching the room, y'all. They're searching the dorm room, and they eventually find Ramirez's badge, okay? And I'm like, it was all tucked in place so perfectly. And I'm like, yeah, I understand y'all have to take Tariq in, but as detectives, y'all don't think that that's fishy? Like, most people are not going to keep little souvenirs like that all just willy-nilly. Like, I'm just saying, but y'all, we talking about power cops here, so we got to kind of give them a little leeway, what have you, but that's neither here nor there, okay? So Monet and Mecca meet up, and long story short, she's like, hey, boo, yeah, let's do this, okay? Let's do this. Let's be together. I'm tired of fighting. You can have me, okay? And so they agree that Mecca can meet Zeke after she talked with the kids. I'm like, great. That's a great order to have. That's a great plan because you don't want to tell Zeke and then tell the kids. So I think that's a good decision that she made to tell the kids first. Okay. So we see Tariq, of course, it's after the hearing. He's going back to the campus dorm room, and we see like in the little campus yard or what have you. We see the police just around the campus, and they're like next to Braden, and Braden sees Tariq, and he's just kind of like shaking his head like, no, bro, turn around. But of course, Tariq still lost, like not sure what's going on. And so long story short, we see Kamal and some other cops. They end up arresting Tariq. And we see Lauren. She's like, oh, no, Tariq. And Carrie, trifling behind, talk about, he's getting what he deserves, girl. Like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, girl. Like, I'm just so over Professor Sexaholic. Like, yeah, girl. Like, she probably real stressed because we ain't see her have sex in a minute. So she probably all backed up and tits and stressed out. I wonder who's going to be, hitting that soon. But whatever. So, y'all, we see Tariq in jail, y'all. And so he gets a visit from his lawyer, not Davis, the estate lawyer, Elvin from Cosby Show, okay? And so he's like, hey, your father instructed me to give you this envelope in the event that you are arrested for homicide, okay? So he's like, I don't know what's in it, but he told me to give it to you. He's like, I hope not to ever have to give this to you. I'm like, what the hell is this? So he goes into the jail cell and reads a letter from Ghost. And it says, I knew you would end up here, little nigga, like where you belong. I'm like, oh, snap, Ghost. Being petty from the so-called grave. But when did you write this? I'm just pondering when did you write this letter? Okay. Girl, I'm over here just trying to think back. Do I need to rewatch episode 6? And be like, oh yeah, that's when he when he wrote that episode 6, season 6. I'm like, yeah, that's when he wrote the letter. But yeah, y'all, that was a hot mess. I ain't gonna look. I kind of lived up for that moment, but I was still kind of mad, y'all. I was still kind of mad. You ain't had no hope for your boy. No hope for your boy. And it didn't look good, to the lawyer that, his father would think that of him. So he's definitely not probably going to think, Tariq is innocent. So he's definitely not going to be an ally for Tariq in the future. So y'all, this last scene took me out, y'all. Well, it didn't really take me out, but it was a little kiki, a little cackle, okay? So Monet, she's pulling up in the driveway at the house. And she realizes a lot of noise going on, like it's a bomb-ass spades game or a dominoes game going on, like some laughter, like it's a cookout or something going on. So she goes in, and we see Papi Chulo at the head of the table. And the kids is all happy. And he over there with his little Fendi sweatsuit or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how long he been in, but it seemed like it's still kind of current. And she looking like, what the F? And so the kids is like, dang, mama, why you ain't tell me this is why you been acting kind of crazy, because you was keeping this from me? And, she was like, yeah, y'all, I didn't want to, get your hopes up, blah, blah, blah. But I think she did a horrible job, like, acting in the situation, because Lorenzo knows that Monet didn't know. So if I was Lorenzo, I would expect her to be running up in my arms, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't mind the kids knowing that it was a surprise, because it was truly a surprise. So it was just confusing to me that she just at least didn't fake that she was happy to see him. And so the kids noticing, hey, mama ain't really looking too happy. So they all looking at her like real shysty, like, and I'm like, yeah, Monet, I'm going to need you to do a little better with the acting, boo-boo. So, yeah, y'all, daddy's home. The whole dynamic is going to be effed up. Is she going to still be able to go with Mecca? Like, how long Tariq going to be in jail? I feel like he may be there for maybe an episode or two. But I feel like he's going to be pulling some strings from the inside, because we need Lauren and Brayden to pretty much kind of get him out of the jail. It kind of me think it's going to be like, if you guys see House Party, when Kid went to jail. And, Play and Tisha Campbell and, oh, God, I forgot the other lady name, but they all came to bail him out or whatever, and Martin Lawrence and everything. It was kind of a cute situation, but yeah, we're going to need the team to get Tariq out jail, okay? Because this ain't going to be cute, y'all. So episode 6, oh, Lord, I don't feel like it's going to be too action-packed, but I definitely is going to give, a lot, to be like episode 6, but I really feel like it's going to be a whole lot of drama, okay? And I am excited for it. But y'all, I appreciate you guys listening. Please like this video for your girl, okay? Because I got to go over here and get my tea to get my voice together and rest my vocal cords, all right? Please comment your thoughts, what you're thinking about this episode, what you think is going to happen in the future episodes. But again, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys have a great week. Well, till next week, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.